Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It is up to you to figure out what work you feel most connected with and what actually gets you excited about the projects that you work on. Nobody else is going to give you your dream project. Nobody else is going to give you the ideal thing to be working on, where you're getting paid what you want, where you are doing the type of work you want, where you're excited every day. That situation it's not just going to happen. It's something that you can cultivate and something that you can kind of create for yourself, rather than kind of waiting for that to be the case. And the trick is really to figure out what is it about my current circumstances, what is it about my current project or work that I'm doing, that if I look at it a certain way, I will feel really excited or interested in this work that I'm doing. And one thing I see is designers or freelancers, they get hired by like a big company or by some project that pays well. And then they feel creatively trapped. They feel like, great, this person's paying me, but the work is boring. They want me to dumb down what it is that I do. They don't see my genius. They just want the kind of straightforward process. They don't want the crazy idea that you would actually be really excited about. That's a common tension that freelancers feel. And the problem is that we put ourselves in that situation. And it's not that we put ourselves in that situation because we took that client. It's that we put ourselves in that situation because after we take that client, we think that we need to be a certain way for them. We think that we need to be, sanding off the edges of the work that we have that we feel so excited about. And so we put ourselves in this box thinking, okay, to do well in this project, I need to give them what I think they want. I need to give them what I think they expect of me, which is always a less exciting, less creative, less interesting version of what it is that we really want to create. And so we give up our own excitement for the project because we think that's going to lead to a better result with the client. We sort of give up our excitement for the what we think is the benefit of the other person. But the problem is two things. One, that's a recipe for doing creative work that is never that exciting for you. And that just perpetually becomes this problem. Two, it keeps us from doing extraordinary work that actually stands out, that is the type of work that we want to be doing for other clients. So when we're producing projects in such a way or doing work for a company in such a way that we think they want it to be done that way, the boss wants it to be done that way, the manager or the person hiring us, you're sort of giving up your own creative ability, you're boxing yourself in, and then you're getting recommended to other people for doing more work like that. So the problem kind of multiplies across different clients because suddenly you're being asked to do more of the work that you didn't actually want to do with more of the clients that you don't actually want to work with. And so the trick that I've sort of learned here is really two things. The first is that you want to take a risk, right? If we're not taking some type of risk, if we're not taking some type of, if there's not some type of excitement there, being on our edge, if there's not some part of the project that feels risky to us, we're going to lose our energy for it. Maybe you could do it once, maybe you could do it a few times, but without some type of risk, creatively, you're just not going to be that inspired. You're not going to be that excited. And so maybe it's not the entire project that is out there and funky and at your creative edge, but there's got to be some part of it that feels that way. And so what we can tell ourselves is, how do I make this work look more like the work that I want to be doing in the ideal situation with the ideal client? Not 100% in that direction, but enough that I'm starting to make stepping stones towards that type of work instead of giving up my creativity in the process. So we have to take some type of risk. The third thing is we need to think about, what is actually interesting about this to me? What do I feel connected with this project? What is it about this project that through that lens I find that it's really interesting? And so let's imagine that you're like, let's say a wedding photographer, right? You might start doing wedding photography for different couples, And as a beginner freelancer or creator, you're thinking to yourself, I need to make my images look a certain way for how I think the clients will want it to look. And on some level, that is true. This is your, the client is your boss, right? You are there to serve them. However, they also don't know totally what it is they want or need, and so it's also on you to lead them in a way, and also to build your style in such a way that you start attracting a unique set of clientele that wants more of that thing that you do. So if you only serve the client's needs in the sense that you're conforming to what you imagine they're wanting, you're just going to do not as quality work. You're going to feel less connected, and you're going to get more clients like that. But if instead you can figure out what is interesting about this situation, this wedding, yes, it's a wedding like other ones I've done, but it's in a different location. What is it about this venue that I'm excited about? Oh, there's something about the lighting. There's something about the backdrop, the nature that it's near. That's interesting. That's different. Yes, I've done a million couple shoots, but as an example, this venue, this couple is not the same as anybody I've ever worked with. So if you pay attention to the client, there's always something interesting about their story. How can I meet them where they are based on what I see, what I think is interesting about them? How can I create this project in a way that I tell the story that I think is really unique? And so it's really about putting your own lens on the work. And that's, I suppose, what I'm talking about today is, if you don't put your own lens on the work, if you don't create what you think is uniquely interesting, if you're not connected to that, we can't ever expect clients, projects, managers, situations for us to find ourselves in where we're going to be truly excited because we just happen to fall into them. It's actually on us. It's actually internal. So today, if you think about the range of work that you're doing, whether it's full-time at a company, whether it's freelance, whether you're starting your own business, see if you can remind yourself, zoom back out and say, what is it that's actually interesting here? What is available in the existing people that I'm working with, projects I'm working on? What's available there for me to get really excited about again? What do I see through my unique lens? And if you do that, I think you'll find yourself put into more situations where around you or surrounded by you is the types of work you want to be doing, the types of people you want to work with, the types of projects you want to take. And ultimately, you find yourself working on projects or with people that you're just totally excited to work with. And it feels like you're being paid to do things that you didn't imagine you could be paid for to do. That's how it feels for me in the coaching work that I do, in the business consulting work that I do. I'm finding myself in more and more situations where I'm excited about them, they're excited about me for who I am and what I'm bringing to the table, not for who I'm projecting to be and boxing myself in that way. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. You can feel free to like and subscribe if that's your thing. I'll be back again very soon. Later.